I'm Julie Nervelli with Network in Action, and I am here with Kelsi Arietta with Cross Country Mortgage, and we are going to have a quick little chat today about her business. Welcome, Kelsi.
Thank you, Julie. I'm excited to be here.
Good. So tell me how you got into this and why you love doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So I actually went to college with the intention and plan to go to medical school. So very different path. I got my degree in biology and chemistry, and then worked in the medical field outside of college. And there were just a lot of life things that happened, shifts in my life that led me to start to look into a different career path. And my mom has been in the mortgage business at that point for about 20 years. And so I had a conversation with her over dinner one night. And ultimately, after a few months of really deep thought, just decided to make a career change into the mortgage business. And luckily, I got to do that all under the wing of my mom, who just poured into me and truly helped me learn this industry so fast and so in depth, and build me up in this business. And what I quickly learned when I transitioned into the mortgage business, because that was obviously a big deal for me, was to think about a big career change after something that I thought I was going to do for so long in my life. There was a lot about what I loved about the medical field that tied right in with the mortgage industry, which is kind of crazy to think about. But what I very quickly learned to love about this business is it's very fast paced. If you want to be really great at it, then you have to constantly be in the mode of wanting to learn. Things are changing all the time in our industry with guidelines, all of that. And so you have to stay up to date on those things, and you have to love the act of learning and always growing. So I loved that aspect of it. And when I was working in the medical field, I was working in the emergency department, and you see a lot of crazy stuff there. And oftentimes you're really a part of a lot of people's worst day in their life or scariest moments in their life. And moving into the mortgage business, I then got to still be a key point in people's life, but for a really positive reason, which is either buying their first home or buying their vacation home for their family, or they're, moving up into another home that they were able to purchase through equity from their last home, or, all of these really great moments in people's lives that I get to be a part of that are a part of their story. So that's why I really love what I do.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's funny you say that there were similarities because you wouldn't think there were, but then
Yeah.
once you explained them, it's like, oh yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And knowing you, you're a passionate person. So I know that you love to help people
Yeah,
accomplish those goals. So that's
I
very
do.
cool.
Yeah.
So if someone's thinking about a mortgage and, on the internet, you're constantly like get this guaranteed best mortgage rate. And so
Mhm.
what is your advice when someone's tempted to just go online where the computer can shop the very best rate for you in minutes?
Totally. Yeah. No, that's a really great question, because I think that's super enticing, and it draws you in to think about, oh, I can get the best rate. I think what a lot of people don't think about is what you may be sacrificing by just looking for the best rate. For one, the best rate doesn't really exist, because there may always be someone who will be a little bit better and then a little bit better than that person. And it could go on and on and on. But by just looking for the best rate and maybe working with an online lender who is doing things in a very automated fashion, you could actually be leaving a lot of money on the table when you're thinking about your wealth over your lifetime. So purchasing a home may be one event, it may be emotional, it may be financial. There could be a lot of things to it, but really it's a key step in building wealth in your future. And the best way to build wealth in your future is through doing it the right way and making sure that you have good return on investment. You're putting your money in the right places. You're strategically structuring how your loan is to make sure that you're reaching wealth over your lifetime, and not just looking at, one component of it, which could be down payment, could be monthly payment, could be your overall debt ratios, debt payoff, all of these different things. But you need to look at all of those pieces as a whole and together to really make sure that you're building the best financial picture for yourself in the future. Because home ownership, as emotional as it is also a huge investment. And so you want really good sound guidance. You want great service. It's a stressful time. You want to make sure that you have people who are on your side and pushing to get to the finish line as much as you want to get there. And sometimes you may not get that by just looking for the lowest rate out there.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Mortgages are not a commodity like rice. It doesn't matter what rice
Exactly.
brand you buy, but
Yeah.
with this, it's important to have a person helping you through the
Totally.
process. So,
Yeah.
um, well, great. So one last question is, tell me what an ideal referral is for you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Um, I think um, it's hard because in our industry, um, there's not always an ideal one because there's so like many different people that can fit into the box of home ownership if you just know how to plan it strategically, or maybe they're not ready today, but we can come up with a good solid plan to get them ready a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, whatever that looks like. We can get them on a path to home ownership. So, I mean, I truly believe that most people can accomplish home ownership in their life if they're willing to put in the work and if they get the right advice. And I think that that sometimes people, what they don't understand is that it is an achievable goal for so many people. It just might be changing your mindset about finances. So I think that there's not really a great, this is the person that we're always looking for. You might think that I would say, oh, someone who has $1 million in the bank and this and that and all of these things, but really sometimes the most rewarding ones are people who come to me with $3,000 in their bank account and we can get them into home ownership. So I think that it's such a broad spectrum in our industry. I just personally love when someone trusts me enough to refer me and my team so strongly because they felt so taken care of and they know that I will do the same thing for their friends and family, whether it be coming up with a plan or getting them into a home in a month.
Awesome. Yeah, my one of my stepfather's mottos is you got to have a plan. And so I like that you pointed out that if you plan ahead, that will help you get there, reach your goals sooner, just
Totally.
like everything else.
Totally.
Well, thanks for your time today. It was a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope you have a great afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. Nice chatting with you.